What's up everybody and welcome back to another video. In today's video we're going to continue where we left off on the loop video, and we're going to create a small cart so that a user could add items into it that they want to purchase. So let's go ahead and clean up this app component a little bit. I don't think we're going to use this commented out code. And I do want to change this to an H2 since it's not actually a header. And I want to make the font a little bit smaller. We'll add a little bit of styles so it looks a little bit better. So we'll do font size 1.5 rem. And then I want to put these items into a grid so that they're displayed a little bit better. So we'll do a dot container to set up our grid. And we'll do display grid template rows. We want it to repeat 2, 1 FR. Grid auto flow. Rows, no column. And then our grid gap, we'll do 10 rem. So what this grid does is it creates 2 rows, each with a height of 1 FR, 1 frame basically. And then it's going to auto flow it into columns, and it's going to create a grid gap of 10 rem. So in order to make this work, we have to set up our container. So we'll do a div with the class name container. We'll put this inside of it. And then each item we want to have in its own div. So we'll set up a div, and we'll move this up and this up. And we have to fix this to H2. So that should lay it out a little bit better. As you can see, you get more of like a product feel where it's in a grid. It's spaced out a little weird, but we're going to leave it for now. So what we'll do is we're going to set up a cart. So if we do let cart equals empty array, and we'll do some HTML, and then we'll add the button to add these items into the cart. So we'll do it right in the app component. Let's set up a div with the class of cart, and inside that div, we'll do an H1 with cart. And then we want to conditionally display the items if cart does contain items. So what we'll do is we'll set up a conditional. We'll do if cart.length is greater than 0, and we'll close that if. And what we want to do is if we're greater than 0, we want to display the items in the cart. So for each item, in the cart as cart item with a key of cart item ID. And then we'll close that each. We want to do a span of cart item dot name. So what this will do is this will display the cart item name and the cart item price. And then if we don't have any items in the cart, we're going to do a else. And we'll just do a span. Your cart is empty. Please add something. So as you can see right now, our cart is empty, so we don't have anything in there. And let's add a button so that we have a way to add these items to the cart. So add to cart. And we'll do an on click. equals handle add to cart. And then we'll make a function, const handle add to cart equals. So now that we have the function, we need to have a way to get the item we're working with into the cart. Because as you could see, like if we just did console.log ID, if we console.log that ID, if we click the button, you'll see that it doesn't know what we're working with here. So we need a way to pass the item that we want to go into the cart into this function. And like we said in one of the last videos, you can't just go ahead and put the parentheses with the ID in here, because that'll invoke the function right when you start up the application. So what we need to do is we need to have a way that we can pass this ID using a click event into the function. And the way that you do this is with what's called inline handlers. So basically what you're going to do with an inline handler is it's an anonymous function that runs within the onClick, and that allows you to then have this function invoked with an ID, but it's not going to run right away because this function will only run when you click. So it's not ID, we got to do product.id. And what we have to do is we pass this ID into the function. So if we save that, you'll see that when we click here, we get the ID based on the item that we're clicking. Now that we have the ID, let's go ahead and start getting it to display in the cart. So instead of console.logging, we want to grab the item and then we want to put it into the cart array. So let's start with grabbing the item that we want to use. So what we'll do is we want to do const cart item equals product. We want to filter through the products array. We want to grab the product, and we only want the product where the ID matches the ID that we're feeding in. And then since the filter gives you an array, you do have to grab the first property of that array. So let's just grab the 0 property. So now if we console.log cart item, you'll see that we get an object with the item that we're looking to use. So let's set up our cart. So we'll do let new cart equal, and we want to have all the items that are already in the cart go into that. And then we want to push that item into the new cart. So let's just do new cart dot push cart item. And then we want to set the cart equal to new cart. So the reason that I did it this way is you need an assignment in order to update the component. Pushes and pulls don't actually modify the array in an assignment fashion, so they have no effect on the state of the component. And if we go ahead and save this, now you can see that it adds the items into our cart. However, let's do a div so that it puts them on new lines. And now you can see that it adds the items to the cart. Now, one problem we're going to run into, if you notice, it didn't add it to the cart. This is a problem where you have duplicate keys. So basically, you're trying to add another object into your cart array that already is keyed via Svelte. So we do have to solve that problem. So in order to solve that, most carts have the concept of quantity. So let's go ahead and add a quantity, and then we'll figure out how to tell if an item has already been pushed into the array, and we'll update the quantity based on that. So what we'll do is we'll add a span here. And inside this span, we want to do quantity, cart item dot quantity, which doesn't exist yet, but we'll add that. And then between these two, we want to have a little space so that you could tell that it's the quantity. So the first thing we want to do is we want to see if the item exists in the array. So let's create some space here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to grab the item index so that we know what item we're working on. So if we do new cart.find index, and then we grab the item, and we make sure that the item.id is the same as the ID that we're feeding in. So what this will do is this will either find the index, so console.log item index. So as you see, this will either find the index, or if it doesn't exist, it'll be -1. So that's the way you could tell that it doesn't exist. So if we add this one, but if we add this one again, you get a 0 because it's the index of 0. It lives here. As you can see, we don't have a quantity yet. So what we'll do is if item index is greater than or equal to 0, we know that this exists. So what we want to do is we want to let quantity equal the item that's in there dot quantity, because this is if you have more than one in there already, you want to have that quantity fed in. And then we'll do new cart item index equals, we want to spread out the cart item, and we want to do a quantity of quantity plus equal 1. And for some reason we ended up with double curly braces, so we'll get rid of that. So now we can console.log new cart, and that should give us the new cart with the new item index in it. And what we want to do is if it doesn't exist, we need to have an else where we new cart dot push, but instead of just pushing the item, we want to add in a quantity, because if you don't add in the quantity, this will return that it doesn't know what it is, so it'll error out the whole application. So we'll do dot cart item to spread it out, and then we'll add a quantity of 1. Now if we save this, oh, we want to get rid of this because this is going to push regardless. So we'll save this. So now what'll happen is if you add to cart, why is it still undefined? So it's still undefined because I can't spell. So we'll save it with the right spelling. And now it's empty. Now you have 1 sunglasses, 1 shirt, and then if I add sunglasses, it updates the quantity. So we did make it so that you could update the quantity. And let's clean up these console.logs. We no longer need them. So if we save that, clear this out, as we can see, it works. Oh, we're still logging something. This, get rid of this. And one more use for inline handlers would be, instead of having to restart your cart, I would like to be able to delete these. So let's go ahead and add a button. And we'll do on click equals. We'll do the same inline function. Handle delete. And then we want to pass in the cart item dot ID, and then we'll just put in delete item. Save that, and then we'll do a handle delete function, and it's going to be very similar. It's going to be const handle delete equals, we want the ID, and what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing. Let new cart equal the cart. We're going to get the item index. Item.id equal to ID. And then what we'll do is we're going to new cart.splice, and we're going to remove the item index, and we only want to remove the one item. And then we want to do the same thing, cart equals new cart, in order to update it. So if we save that, what we can do is we can add to cart, and then we can delete from the cart. And as you can see, it removes it. And then it adds it back in, delete it, shirt, delete, add a shirt, and it updates the quantity. So that's the way inline handlers work. They're very useful if you have to pass something into the function to identify the items you're working with. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. In the next video, we're going to go over maybe breaking this cart into a component and going over some component related stuff, since the code is getting to be a little bit too much for just the app.svelte component. So I hope I'll see you there.